Hello and welcome to the Robo Samurai channel, and today I'm going to be bringing you a comparison and a review of these two figures, which is essentially the same figure. It's Black Convoy and Scourge. Now both of these were produced for what was called the 2000 Robots in Disguise. Well, actually this one was made for that show. This was made for the Japanese show called Car Robots. It's basically the same thing. So yeah, they're basically the same figures. This is just the Hasbro produced one. This is the Japanese one. So we'll be doing some comparisons just to show you what this is like. And this is more of a reference video. I will have a video review coming up for the Velocitron Speedia 500 Scourge, and we'll do some more comparisons there. But I wanted to compare these two, kind of get this out of the way. This is basically a recolor of the G2 Laser Optimus Prime, and there is a video that I have done of the reissue of that, which is based on this. So let's take a quick look at the trailers first of all, because this is going to be the parts of least comparison, and you can see that their respective trailers both have one says Black Convoy, and one says Scourge, essentially. And you'll see that on the trailer itself, even Scourge, it references D012, which is what the number of this this particular one here, when they released it in Japan, it was D012. That's part of their reference scheme. So yeah, and then you can see that these trailers are essentially identical. There's really not much difference in them. The other thing that might be of a notable difference besides the back sticker here are the fact that the US Scourge one came with these little discs which can fire out of here just like that, and you can see that they don't have anything written on them whatsoever. They're completely blank. Now, in the original G2 versions, they actually look like this, and this is what you would get with the Scourge, is you would get a little one like this. Now, the G2 versions would be that way. If you want to make them evil, you turn them upside down, right? So that's basically what you would get. And there, yeah, these will work in that, and vice versa. So, yeah. Now, you know, we can open these up real quick, because there is a weapon that comes with them. So... and this one here goes with Scourge, and then this one goes with Scourge, and then this one here goes with Convoy. And you can see that the translucent plastic on these are just like the swords, and I'll show these off in a little bit. But and outside of that, these two, I said, are identical in how they transform into their base modes and everything else. So basically what you would do with this, and I'm going to set these guys aside because I'm going to do one comparison. And, all right, so there it is. You would have the launcher kind of off on this side here. And then you would unpop this here, and this would shoot the missiles. And they're little brown missiles, basically. But yeah, and then you would take this here. Let's see here. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. So there's actually a, just remembering these here, there's actually a little spring-loaded gimmick here. And what it does is you push it down, and it allows you to collapse these into its base mode. And this is essentially what it would kind of look like. And then you would take this here, and this is where it was mounted. And you'd mount it on here. And then it would become the gun turret for the base mode. So you'd send all of your stuff flying here, and then you would have a little, this is for the rockets, which aren't on this particular one here. Actually, you probably turn this around, and you would take out this and fire all your rockets out of that, which I don't have the rockets on this one. It's probably in the Black Convoy trailer. You'd push this button, and then this here would just air launch out a big missile. And that's essentially it, and it's exactly, if not pretty much exactly like the G2 reissue that I have in my other review. So I don't want to go into too much detail on this, but yeah. But for what's important here is that I'm actually going to take this off here, and we're going to use it We're going to show how those are used. That weapon is used. Ugh, oh boy. And how Convoy or Scourge can hold that weapon. So I'll go on ahead and put these back. Like I said, this is kind of just a demonstration of how these look. And they collapse like that, and they make a nice little package. So this is the Scourge version here. And I will set that one off to the side. And essentially you get the same thing here. And I'm just going to, and the only reason why I'm going to open this is because I do have the missiles loaded on this one here. And you can see them here. They all fire off just fine. And then you have on this side, you've got, this is what the missile looks like right here. So just made in kind of a brown, dark plastic. And then, yeah, like I said, you can launch it. I show some of that detail in the other video. So, yeah. Go ahead and check that out if you'd like. But, yeah, so that's essentially how these base modes stack up. You know, hey, that's fine. It's kind of cool. Rarely do you see them actually using the base modes in the cartoon or the anime. So, yeah, that's it. So I'm going to go on ahead and set that over here. And I'm going to keep these guns out. There. So let's take a look at these guys. So we have Scourge here. Well, actually, that's Black Convoy and that's a Scourge. And the one way you can tell the difference here, and what the Japanese did was just slightly different. They used a foil metallic sticker for these areas here. And you'll see that it has the upside down Autobot logo from the G2 here. But outside of that, the paint job is pretty much the same. And there is one other thing here that is on both of these. Even the turquoise. The turquoise on Scourge might be a little bit different. Now, they went on ahead and then they used paper labels here. And they used Decepticon symbols instead of the other one. Okay, fine. But I like the deep rock. I like this red sword that comes with Scourge. You know, you got this slightly, I don't know, pink, magenta-ish. And that's the same color as his light piping, as you can see on both of these here. So, yeah, that's kind of what we got and what we're dealing with in terms of comparisons. And let's take a look. Actually, I think that this plastic, this gray plastic, is a little bit more dark on this one. It's a little bit lighter on this one. But all in all of the paint applications are pretty much the same. There's not any difference, really, between these two, and you can kind of see them from the back here. Okay, so now there is one more thing. On both of these, it's true that this is based off of Laser Optimus Prime, and there's a button back here, and you can push this button all you like, but they took out the electronics, and you can see they covered it up with a black sticker. But I've never tried to undo this. Now, I could take the one from the Year of the Goat Optimus Prime. I have another video on that, I think. And I could replace the electronics on or wire my own. I don't want to do that. I think it would look cool. But you can see on the Scourge, this is Scourge, they didn't put a black sticker on it. They just kind of glued it together. So this, you know, would take quite an operation for me to get that out. It's not even screwed in, it's just glued together. So, and I'm not really interested in like just taking this thing apart. So this one has some opportunity to it, I think, but I've never tried to peel off the sticker on this Black Convoy. So let's go on ahead, let's get them transformed, and we'll take a look at them. So, by the way, this is, and I assume that the light piping still exists in the arms and everything else. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But again, like if you did have that, you'd be able to plug this in, and then he'd be able to shoot. You know, you'd see the lights light up on the tips of this gun here. So, by the way, if you didn't know, he's got all the articulation, but all of this, it only bends this far, and he only goes this far. Kind of does. He's got a little bit of a bicep swivel. His legs, you can do the full splits. You can do this, and he's got a decent knee bend. So, but There is no ankle rockers, or really not even a toe tilt. I mean, you could call that a toe tilt, but that's really a part of the transformation. Yeah, so... and he does have a waist swivel, which is pretty cool, you know. I mean, for how old this mold is, it's got a lot of good features to it, you know. Maybe not perfect features. But let's go on ahead. Let's transform him. We'll transform both of these, and I'll do it exactly the same way. So you pull that open, turn his head around, flip that around, close that back up. Then take these. It's a very simple transformation, by the way. Collapse them on top of each other. All right. And then put the legs together, tab them together, flip the feet up, and collapse. And that's how easy it is to transform this thing. Let's do the same thing to Black Convoy over here. And so we'll do it again. Open up this, pull this out, down, fold that up. We got this, and then lift and push it over. And there we go. Put his legs together. And pull his feet up. Collapse. And there we go. Pretty easy transformations, I'd have to say. Let's do a side-by-side comparison. You can see that on Scourge, they went on ahead and put a Decepticon symbol here. No symbol here whatsoever. So, in fact, on Black Convoy's truck mode, there is no indication of his faction until you turn him upside down. And that's kind of what he looks like when he's upside down. Just like this guy here. So you can see that there. But at least they put it on the door here. And no, I've never decided to put that there. And of course, on the trailers themselves, there isn't any faction symbol whatsoever on it. So, but they do peg in just fine. You plug that in there. And there you go. And you can do the same thing with Scourge. And plug that in here. And there you go. So, yeah, that's pretty much what you're dealing with on these. They are really, I really like these. And you can kind of see the chrome is better on this one than on this one. This one's a little faded. I don't know if you can kind of see that there on this side. And that's kind of the problem you have with some of these. I've had these for a very long time. So, yeah. But I did have them both new, so yeah. One thing about these is that just to show you, you can store the sword underneath here, and what you do is you take these clips here. Well, you can see these. This just locks in on it. It's not really a clip, but it does kind of clip in there, and it holds it kind of secure up, kind of securely. Let's see here. It's supposed to hold it like that. Oops. Well, maybe it doesn't want to. Maybe it goes the other way. Yeah. There we go. It goes the other way. There. You see? It doesn't get in the way of anything. You can do the same thing with Black Convoy with this pink sword here. And you can see there's actually, if you look at the sword itself, on the edge of its base there, you can see that it has a lip right there, like some of this sticks out more. That's the part that you want to stick onto here, and you just lock it in place just like that, and that's what we got. So yeah, you know, Scourge and Black Convoy, this is what you would have had. And you know, they don't sell these anymore, obviously. You could find them on eBay or used toy shops or anything like that. I would say, you know, take a look at them very carefully. Make sure that there's nothing missing out of them if they're open boxes, or you kind of have an idea of the accessories that these come with. So that's what we got here. So yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing, and we'll talk to you guys next time.